Well, the weather gods may have frowned on Gosford, but the football gods will surely be smiling. It is arguably the biggest game of the season, and while no silverware will be handed out tonight, the tension ahead of this top-of-the-table showdown has been building all week, and it does feel as though it could be a pivotal night in the race for the Premiership. The Mariners can virtually end the contest if they can maintain their impregnable home form, but the big if is the Wanderers. Could the sporting fairy tale story of the year have the romantic ending their noisy fans, who've travelled up here in their droves, are dreaming of? A warm, if very wet, passionate, uniquely football-style welcome to Gosford, where the Mariners' normally rather sedate Bluetongue Stadium has been transformed tonight into a pulsating, expectant cauldron. The Wanderers may be away from home, they may be the league's new boys, and they may even be the underdogs tonight, but they will have the benefit of a 12th man in the stands this evening as they go for that record-equaling 8th straight win. And they may need it. The Mariners have been unbeatable here this season. Indeed, with the exception of bogey team Brisbane, the last time a travelling team won here was December 2010. It promises to be a fascinating and very, very noisy night indeed. All right, let's give you a reminder of the team news, starting with the Mariners, who make 4 changes from the side that drew with Suwon here in the Champions League during the week. Patrick Svansbeek, John Hutchinson, Mitch Duke and Bernie Abini all return to the starting 11. Zach Anderson, Ollie Bosanic, Miller Stajovski and Nick Fitzgerald are ones to drop out. 3 of those, though, are 2 changes for the Wanderers from the side that edged out Perth Glory and Parramatta last weekend. Match winner Aaron Moy reverts to a substitute's role, with Matteo Polyak restored to the midfield, while Dino Kressinger replaces Joey Gibbs up front. Labano Haliti and Tariq Elrich get spots on the bench alongside Moy and reserve stopper Jared Tyson. Well, it is grey, wet and miserable, as you can see, for the 2nd weekend in a row in Gosford, but that hasn't dampened the enthusiasm of the fans, and the pitch, like last week, looks in immaculate condition. Graham Arnold and Tony Popovic, good mates, whose careers both started at Sydney United, of course, and the pair are also later teammates at Sanfrecce Hiroshima in Japan, and on many occasions for the national team. Arnold quick to heap the pressure on the Wanderers in the build-up. Popovic quick to say that he doesn't play the mind games. Or is that a double bluff? Our referee is Alan Milliner, his 26th A-League appointment. Scott Edeling and Sarah Ho will run the lines. Chris Griffiths-Jones is our 4th official. And 2 creative talents who could be key tonight. Shinji Ono, if you believe the reports in the press, he's about to sign a new contract at the Wanderers that will keep him in Australia and in the A-League for another 12 months. And Michael McGlinchey for the Mariners, arguably the form player of the competition at the moment. So we are all set in Gosford. First against second. Can the Wanderers make it 8 in a row? Will the Mariners effectively seal what would be for them a 3rd Premiership crown? Away we go. One of the most anticipated games of the season. The pressure has been building all week. Finally, the lid is off, and we are away. The winner tonight, Robbie Slater, will be the overwhelming favourite to claim the season's first piece of silverware.
Without a doubt, and 2 teams built on defensive structure.
Here's the first shot in anger from Yusuf Hersi. Not really much anger about it. Pretty defending here as Rose tries to curl it in straight down the throat of College. College's release took a touch off McBreen. This is Ono.
And both sides dropping off to the halfway. The Wanderers are doing the same. Now, the Wanderers on this incredible run. They don't dominate possession in any of their games, really. There's little to do with the end result, as we know. It's quite interesting. The Wanderers are the best first-half team, and the Mariners by far the best second-half team.
Yusuf Hirsi has gone down in a heap on the way to the challenge from Rose, which, as you can see, he doesn't agree with. Now, the Wanderers have had more possession than the other teams in the A-League on just one occasion this season. It hasn't affected their league position or their form one iota. He runs over the ball, whipped in by Shinji Ono, and it's spilled by Ryan. But referee spotted a push on Patrick Svansvik. In fact, Svansvik is suggesting it was an elbow used. A bit of sorting out to do for the referee. Mariners in slightly more of a groove at the moment than the Wanderers, though.
We've seen that quite often.
Little touch by Duke, and then McBreen stands on the ball. Recovers quickly enough to feed Abini. Now Bojic. Cross comes LaRocca. Abini gets the delivery in. Shank up in the air. And behind off Beecham for a corner.
Well, he's done well there, Abini, because there was really no room at all. He had no right to get a cross in from there. He managed to, and just on the left-hand side, as McBreen gets a touch on that, there's the challenge. Still manages to cross, and just on his heels a little bit there, McGlinchey.
Well, no goals as yet, but already there's been plenty to enjoy about this contest. And this is Shinji Ono.
Well, that's
just beyond Bridge.
Right idea. Just overhit Bridge, making the outside to inside run. Shinji Ono just dropping into a little pocket, and that's what they'll want to do. And you think the more the game goes on, he'll get more space, because as the game goes on, players get tighter. And that's where Shinji Ono can be so effective, when he's able to pick up the ball in between the midfield and the defence, turn, get his head up, and be able to pick out little passes like that. That one was just off the mark, but he so often gets them right.
Forced the turnover. Good high pressing by the Wanderers.
Yeah, maybe just overdoing it really in these conditions. Matt Ryan determined to play the ball out. He just put his side now under pressure. Western Sydney throw-in.
Headed clear by Sainsbury. So you're of the Mark Bosnich school of thought, are you? If you have to go long, you have to go long.
Well, I certainly hope I'm not at the same school of thought.
Here's Hirsi, trying to jink his way past Rose. He's done so successfully. Depuzzo didn't get hold of it, and then on the follow-up he blazes over the crossbar. Well, he's never scored. It's the oft-quoted statistic in the A-League. He's in his 122nd game tonight, and that was a good chance for the Western Sydney Wanderers.
Well, look, he had to take it quick. Hirsi did ever so well, twisting and turning. He picks out Depuzzo, who gets a second bite at it. This one, just take a little bit off it. You don't have to hit it that hard, just try and keep it low. He was under pressure. If you take a little bit off that, and just concentrate on the technique of keeping the ball down, he probably would have scored. Sainsbury had jumped in, but it might have gone through his legs. That was a good chance, their best chance so far. I think the other thing we probably haven't talked about it with these two teams is supreme fitness, both of them.
Good run by Duke, and it'll break here for McGlinchey. Looks for the option on the right, who's pitched Bojic to slide it back. McBreen shot, and it's blocked by Topor Stanley, who is expertly positioned.
Well, it's an art. Like I was saying before, it's an art defending, and he's just taken up a fantastic position as a defender. Brilliant from Bojic, stretching. Daniel McBreen probably think he's stretching to put this one into an empty net. Brilliant pass, also from McGlinchey. Bojic great, and look at the positioning of Topor Stanley. That was no accident he was there. He sensed the danger. We talk about strikers, you know, anticipation. And we'll go through to Ryan, but also defenders. It's the same deal.
LaRocca. Hirsi found the pocket of space. And the man over is Jerome Pollard, promising this for the Wanderers. Needed a better cross than that.
got himself for the first time in this game into a brilliant position. Gee, they worked that well. Hersey came in off the line, opened up the channel, dropped into the little pocket, and then all of a sudden Pollens had a free channel to run into. Unfortunately for the Wanderers, didn't produce a cross.
The Bluetongue stepping across a beanie. Poljak, intelligent ball. Oh no, and for Hersey. Hersey to cut inside. Oh no. Waiting for Pollens to push forward from fullback. Pollens, better delivery towards Cressinger. Chested down by Abini. And it's hammered clear by Bowic.
Much better ball from Pollens. That was a wicked ball into the box. A really good period here for Western Sydney. McLinch, as he skipped inside the first one, he might have just unleashed one. Breen playing in that number 10 role. Some really good touches on Wednesday against Suwon. Let's have a look at that.
Well, listen to the noise around Bluetongue. It is just phenomenal. Now, Topple Stanley, a little bit over-eager in that challenge. Alan Milner is going to speak to the tall Wanderers defender, probably rightly so.
He's got such a physical presence, Mitchell Duke, and we know how strong Topple Stanley and Beecham are.
In fairness, it looked worse in real time than it did on the replay.
The bodies are
miscalculated by Montgomery. Bridge quick to turn defence into attack for the Wanderers. This is Cressinger. Not seeing a lot of the ball. Looking to get to the byline, and he's overrun it. And it's McGlinchey on the attack. Held up beautifully by Beecham. Terrific central defensive play. Helped out a teammate in trouble there, Robbie.
Again, very good defending. I'll get the ball back here.
Pollens going long. Cressinger. Suggestion of an arm used there to control it. Now he wants a foul. Alan Milner waving both appeals away, and he heeds that one. Away by the Mariners. Poljak. Slipped by Topple Stanley. Time to recover. Beecham. Looking to lift it in behind Josh Rose. Wanderers will take the throw in. Quickly taken towards Yusuf Hersey. Clever ball by Hersey. And that's good tracking back by McGlinchey. Each player on both sides knows their job as Pollens drives it in from a long way out. And really, both teams, Robbie, reduced to shots from that sort of range.
There for everyone to see in this first half.
Abini's touch. Down goes Bowic. No foul given. In fairness, it wasn't appealed for either. Topple Stanley puts it behind. Corner. Clearly played the ball. Hartbridge. Half-time looming. McGlinchey with the corner. It's beyond Zvansbeek. Up in the air by Topple Stanley, and then back towards his own goal, which is not really what Tony Popovic would have demanded. He's been helped out, though, by the referee's whistle. Crisis averted for the Wanderers.
Does that count as a shot off target?
Oh, yeah. Well, there we go. Half-time at Bluetongue Stadium. No goals, but it's been absorbing entertainment for all that. Not a lot of room for manoeuvre for the creative types such as Shinji Ono. The best chance probably falling to Adam Dapuzzo for the Western Sydney Wanderers. At the other end, Daniel McBreen had one stopped on the edge of the 6-yard box by Topple Stanley. Plenty more to come in this one, though, you'd fancy. At the interval, it's the Central Coast Mariners 0, Western Sydney Wanderers 0.